I'm Jen from the Game Jar. I'm here with the Red Thread guys. We're going to talk about Dreamfall. What is different in Dreamfall Chapters to the previous games?
It's obviously a sequel to Dreamfall, so it's pretty much picks up straight where we left off. There's some of the same locations, a couple of new ones. And the story pretty much just starts where the other one left off, and we're gonna finish Zoe's story this time because we left it on a couple of cliffhangers last time around. So we're gonna try and pick up all those threads and finish them.
Yeah, and also how we developed the game and how we funded the game is also quite different from the previous ones. We went on Kickstarter, so now of course we have a lot more communication with the fans. I would say we would try to have a pretty open about what we're developing, keeping them in the loop, which has been a very new and amazing experience.
It's a similar game, but we're sort of taking, because there's been The Longest Journey, which was a point and click 2D background kind of very traditional adventure game, and then there was Dreamfall, which was a 3D direct control with a little combat and some stealth gameplay and stuff like that. So we sort of try to get the best of both worlds. Maybe take out some of the action sequences that people necessarily weren't too happy about, and go a little bit back in that direction, but still keeping the 3D environment. And we did some stuff with the interface.
It's pretty cool because you can obviously it's a 3D space, it's a 3D third-person controller, and but with the click of a button, you can sort of detach the UI, the
cursor.
The cursor. Yeah. And you can have a 2D point-and-click game like you did in the olden days. So that's pretty cool. It sort of mixes the new and the old.
So we're following Zoe again. I read that there's three characters. Yeah. So can you tell me a bit about the other two?
Well, we can only tell you about one of the other two, and that's also a returning character from Dreamfall. So this was one of the other playable characters, Kian, which is the Asadi assassin.
He's super hot.
He's super hot, yeah, and he's wow. And he starts shirtless, doesn't he?
As always.
Yeah. So there's Kian. Yeah. I can talk about Zoe. Yeah, we follow Zoe. I said we pick up straight where we left off. That's not entirely true. It's a year after, but Zoe's been in a coma for a year. We go to. She's not in Casablanca anymore. She used to be. She's in Europolis. Kian is in prison in Marcuria, so that's kind of where we start. Zoe's still in coma. Kian's in prison. Go. But I can't really say too much about the story.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So how do you think the community have taken the idea of having a sequel?
We worked on the previous game we worked on was The Secret World, and it was kind of funny. Whenever we did an interview or something, and there was a comment section, there was always be somebody who said yeah, okay, you're making MMOs, but when is the next Dreamfall? There was always somebody asking about it, and so of course we were very excited when we could make a new one, but we didn't really know how many fans are there out there? Is there only 100 that's
really
very vocal, or do we have lots of fans? But it went really well, and the communication with the backers and the fan has been amazing.
The response has been pretty overwhelming. The Kickstarter sort of just sorted out the gates, and
we tried to we had on a couple of occasions invited the fans over to our studio and see what we're working on and how we work. Of course, that's easier for people who live in Norway to come and visit us than other people, but they are really good at then taking pictures and posting their experience.
And then last night we met a couple of locally based followers from the Kickstarter, and I had some drinks with them, and a really nice chat. So whenever we go somewhere, we always try to say that we're coming, and they can
join us. In the drinks.
So you just mentioned the Kickstarter. What prompted you to make the Kickstarter, and what kind of response did you get from that? I mean, obviously you've got your fan base, but were you overwhelmed by responses, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think I can safely say that we were incredibly overwhelmed and humbled by the response. We decided to go on Kickstarter because we thought that we had a game that would get funded. Like, you don't have any guarantees, but we thought that this can work.
It's kind of the right time because Kickstarter had just sort of started to take off, and
adventure games had this renaissance.
A lot of this resurgence of kind of old school gaming, and a lot of people from previously like AAA titles coming out and saying it would be nice to just take one step back and make something like we used to make them.
Yeah,
a little bit.
And of course, I mean, it was quite funny. Like, before we hit the big red button, we had the discussion in the office, or Ragnar had a little speech saying like, okay, this might go really well, it might go badly. Like, we don't know, we had no guarantees, but okay, here we go. And immediately we got the feedback and the response. Like, backers kept rolling in, and we were very happy.
And then we went for margaritas.
To celebrate.
Of course.
Of course. As you do.
As you do.
So what challenges have you had other than financially, let's say, because of Kickstarter, to create the new game?
Well, obviously it's a brand new studio. Like, we made our own new studio. We're pretty much all ex-Funcom employees who've been working in the business for anything from 7 to 20 years. In the studio system, and then we just made a new studio, so that's a challenge, like doing stuff like buying office furniture and building it ourselves.
Like setting up a company, like we haven't done that before.
No.
And
so obviously that's a challenge.
And also the technology is new. We're using Unity, which we haven't used before, but it's going really well. Like, it's really easy to pick up and
the Unity is one of those things that actually makes it easier to make games.
No, that's true, but I mean, it is a challenge. Like, it's something new that we have to learn. And of course, like, trying to get as many people that know the universe, like hiring the right people.
People that are passionate about the universe, who understand what we're trying to make. That we're not making Call of Duty.
So have you hired any people that are fans of the game already and have played
Yes.
the previous ones?
Yeah, and we got there's another company called Blink that we've hired for this project, and all those guys worked on the previous games. They broke out of Funcom a couple of years
ago. So it's like
ago.
a core team of pretty much everybody have worked on either Dreamfall or The Longest Journey or both.
Yep.
So that's it's a team of people who are really passionate about the franchise.
Lots of high-fiving going on.
Lots of high-fiving.
Nice little happy community kind of thing. So I've seen a release date of November 2014. When might we be able to get hands-on with it, possibly, or is there going to be an alpha? Or
Our goal is to have an alpha by the end of this year.
But that's going to be like really rough. It's going to be grey boxed. It's going to be pretty much, yes, you can move from start to finish, and you can check out the puzzles and go into the environments, but it's not going to be something that we're gonna.
I don't think we can promise anything until maybe a rest next year, like
something
like that. I mean, we just started. We just worked on the game for like 3 months, something like that. So there's still some way to go, but I mean, we're
just sort of ironing out.
Yeah.
So what platforms are we going to see the game on?
PC, Mac, Linux. We're looking at maybe some consoles
and some more mobile platforms.
Yes. But the mobile stuff will happen later.
Yes.
Yeah. We need to focus on the PC and Mac and Linux version. As I said, sort of sniffing on some consoles maybe. If we
with the new generation of consoles coming out, they're more powerful. They could possibly run the game in the quality that we want it to be run at. Wow.
Wow. Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. So the new generation of consoles is obviously an interesting platform to look at. We haven't, seen the dev kits yet, anything like that, so we don't know what's involved.
No. A pipe dream kind of moment.
Yeah, it's something we're sort of talking
we're
about.
We're very serious about it, but
we'll see.
We'll see. Yes.
Okay, so final question, I guess. What has been your favourite moment leading up to here in the last 3 months?
I mean, my favorite moment is still when we actually hit that button and we saw that, okay, this is going to work, like this is going to be successful, because this is something that we really, really, really wanted to do. We quit our jobs
it's our future.
to be here, and I mean, our old jobs like to make this work, and once you get that confirmation that it looks like this is going to happen, that was an amazing feeling, because like we're not trying to make a company here that we're going to sell for lots of dollars. We are going to create a workplace where we can be for many years. So this is our dream, and when we got the confirmation that it's working, then I was very happy.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Same moment.
Yeah. That was easy.
What he said.
Whose story are you dreaming now? Dreamer, the next chapter in your life begins.